Welcome back, Stingers, and welcome to your 2021 Self-Love Transformation Series, where I'm going to give you 31 videos in 31 days, helping you transform into the most fabulous Scorpios you were meant to be. If today is your born day, happy birthday. Make sure you stay to the end of this video for a special birthday tarot card reading. I constantly talk about evolution, breaking yourselves down, and rebuilding to become the most amazing version that you guys were meant to be. Scorpios are the sign of evolution, and this is what we are equipped to do. So how do we do that? How do we put that into practical terms? What does it mean to break yourself down and rebuild? What does it mean to go and dive deep and eradicate all of your traumas and burn your old self and arise from the ashes? Today I have an amazing segment for you guys. Fellow Scorpio, astrologer, and alchemist, ADAMA SESAY of Lillith Astrology, and I sat down and we talked about alchemy and evolution. Take a look. Welcome back, Stingers. Today we're going to talk to ADAMA SESAY of Lillith Astrology about alchemy. You guys remember her from our last Scorpio season where we talked about your sun, moon, and rising, where a lot of you guys sadly discovered that your rising is not your true self. Alchemy is another form of breaking down and rebuilding. You guys know I love mirror work. I'm a Pluto person, so I love to use other Scorpio's energy in relationships to reflect back on who I am, breaking down and rebuilding so that you can become the amazing person that you are meant to be. So what is alchemy and how did you discover it and how did you get started?
Yes, so alchemy is the mystical art of regeneration, and it's essentially how you can activate your light body, so your true essence, who you are in this lifetime, and allow that to be your chariot or what carries you through and manifest the abundance that you need to fulfill that path. So for instance, yours is obviously Scorpio Sun, Scorpio Moon, and you are in your true essence, and having gone through these plutonic experiences, you've become closer and closer and closer to your higher self, where it then meshed and combined and you are able to just fully be. And that is ultimate alignment, and through that, that's just being able to evolve as a person. So alchemy is not just about magic, that's a big part of it, right. But the magic is you. It's essentially ascension, but it's dated back to ancient Egypt, and the ancient Greeks adopted it as well, but the ancient Egyptians had mystery schools and magi, and there they would learn these arts on how to literally transcend in this lifetime and use their energy as light beings to manifest all of the things that they were doing. So if we can tap into that power, that's essentially how we can become the magicians in our own lives and empower our own lives to lead happier, healthier lives that are full of abundance instead of lack and misalignment and depression. A lot of things people go through in this society right now. So I found alchemy through a chart reading, actually. A group we both belong to, NCGR. One of the group classes I went to, I signed up for group reading. Not very Scorpio of me, but I was like, why not? And the teacher said, you know, have you thought about looking into alchemy? This is a big part of your chart and who you are as a person. I'm a Scorpio sun, and then I have Moon and Leo square Pluto, so that fire and that essence inside of me, I go through a lot of change and regeneration in my own life, and I ultimately ascend to the person that I am now, the person I was meant to be, a lot faster than other people, and I can teach that. She was like, you have the teacher energy, so look into it. And I was like, okay, and I did, and then went down the deep dark research hole and adopted these principles into my readings and my astrology and what I do, and using, like Malika, the chart for self-regeneration and self-empowerment, and then using alchemy to help people transcend the challenges in their chart. So transcend the Pluto placement in their chart, or if they have a Scorpio sun, taking a look at these intense placements in the chart and using alchemy to turn that darkness into light. So it's like pairing both the astrological wisdom and then also alchemy as well. And alchemy can even come in the form of just practical things you can do in your life. Mirror work is a huge one that I recommend to all of my clients if they're having issues with self-image, self-worth, knowing who they are, understanding their true essence, and healing the discomfort with it. Because we all have a blueprint. That's what astrology is. We have a blueprint this lifetime, and when we go against that, or we allow traumas and triggers to misalign us, that's what leads to things like depression. Essentially,
most people are misaligned. Like it's very, growing pains are uncomfortable. It's very uncomfortable, and I love the mirror, but it's not easy. That's the thing.
That's why Scorpios are not easy.
It's not easy. It's not easy, and just sitting in there looking at yourself. You know, most of you guys would rather tell someone else your problems or go to a friend or everything's on the outside. But to just sit with it and talk about it, which is what I do every morning, is a whole other issue. So what would be, using alchemy, what would be some of the beginning tools? Let's say someone was abused as a child. How can they use alchemy to break that down? Like, what would be the beginning steps of just kind of like sitting with the fact that happened and kind of coming through that?
So the first step to that is truly going within. So like you're saying, not looking to the external. I definitely think talk therapy is a great place, like trauma therapy, all of that is a great place to start. But there comes a point where you do have to sit with that energy yourself, and you truly have to start to look into what triggers me in my daily reality. So the first step I always tell clients is to start to wake yourself up in the day. Like, don't live your life on autopilot. If something is happening to you in a now moment and you feel misaligned, look into yourself as to why you feel misaligned. So say you're in a toxic, abusive relationship and you're dealing with that every single day. That's something important to look at and to start paying attention to how you feel, because once you start to awaken when you're living your life instead of on autopilot, you start to see what must go in order to transcend to your true self. And it's also taking a look at your hand in the situation. So, maybe some of you are watching, if you've gone through this, I feel like I'm now on toxic relationships because I feel like that somebody's going through that. You have to take a look at your hand in it. So why are you there? What pattern is being repeated from your childhood or from that, the root of that? And that's called the dark night of the soul. So the first step to alchemy is really the dark night of the soul, where you realize and you're off autopilot in your day what must go. And that's where you go through the internal energy shifts to make the changes. So for me, a big dark night of the soul was being in a job and in a corporate construct that I didn't like. I just was misaligned. I needed freedom. I needed creative freedom. I just wasn't happy. But for 10 years, I still went every single day and I felt that fear to break outside of that. And so finally I went through a dark night of the soul and really broke outside of it, and it wasn't comfortable. So alchemy is also getting out of your comfort zone to shift those energies that are keeping you in your current reality.
Now, how did you, because of course they're going to ask, how did you break out of that? Because I thought it was really important to talk about accountability. I know a lot of you guys don't like that, but that's what is necessary, to look at yourself and say, how did I get here? Why did I choose that? What are the patterns that I keep falling into? Because we do what's comfortable, not what we like. Okay, if your parents were abusive, you're probably going to be in abusive relationships. Not that you love it and it's fabulous, but that's what you know. That's what you know, right?
It's your beliefs were imprinted.
Yes, that's what you know. And like you said, to wake it up. Oh, why are we doing this, right?
Yeah.
Now the uncomfortability is something that's very strong, and I see that because a lot of things that I'm going through right now, I've had to stop and say, ooh, why are we feeling like that? And I address it as soon as it happens.
And not everyone does that. You'd be surprised. A lot, like we were just discussing, not everyone can do that. Mm-hmm. But once a teacher or a healer start to pay attention, it can spark some things. So that's what happened to me. So I've had coaches, I've had my own healers. There's no people you need to invest in yourselves. Like if all you're doing is watching YouTube videos and you're not investing in the personal help, that's not going to jumpstart you. But a healer of mine jumpstarted me and was like, you're meant to do astrology. Like, the universe will carry you. You gotta like snap out of it. Yeah. You're the only one that can change it. And I was like, oh my God, yes. So I started to take steps to get myself out of that reality, and now feeling aligned. It's that feeling, it's that emotion, that high frequency emotion of being connected to my higher self and who I truly am, that brings in the money, that brings in the abundance, that brings in things that are aligned with me, because I'm not walking around every day feeling miserable.
So how do you know how do you know what is in alignment with you? So for instance, somebody's going through trauma and they discover that it's from their childhood. They discover that that's what their parents did. Now that's what they're doing. And, the first step is to look at yourself when things pop up and say, what is this? Let's talk about this. Yeah. That's what I do.
Absolutely.
Let's discuss this. What is this feeling? Why does it feel funny? Is it your ego? Are you dealing with it? Are you afraid? What are these types of things that are happening? And we need to open that door. And so how do people know what their alignment is? How do they even recognize what the alignment is supposed to be?
So this isn't a popular opinion on for some people, but high vibrational energy attracts high vibrational energy. Yeah. So high vibrational energies are happiness, joy, fulfillment, alignment, flow. Low vibrational energies are depression, feeling sad, feeling angry, feeling triggered. Yeah. So if you're feeling that in a situation, it's not for you.
Confusion.
Yeah, but a lot of us think the reality just happens to us.
Right.
And we don't realize it's because of us emanating those low vibrational energies. And I'm not saying like depression isn't a real thing. It's low vibrational. It just is. That's just what it is. It's not popular opinion, but it is. And that's going to continue manifesting that. So when you're paying attention to your emotions, have words for your emotions. So sitting with your emotions in the mirror, and if you feel intense sadness about a relationship, that's low vibrational. Yeah. So you want to shift that to joy, to then start activating who you truly are, because you're not meant to be miserable in this lifetime.
How are they shifting?
So it's practical. It's literally change the situation, develop steps to get yourself out of it. For sure, like if you're in an abusive situation, there's resources, you need to contact them and get out of it. Mm-hmm. And then start to do things like mirror work. Meditation is another big one, mixed with breath work to help release traumas out the body. And then feeling your emotions and honoring them allows you to actually release them, and it shifts energy patterns in your physical body that can then bring in more light. So the less and less that you feel miserable, you're gonna lean over and tip over to more high vibrational energies. And it's harder to, once you're on a more high vibe energy, to shift back. So it's gonna take you every day implementing practices. I think coaching is great also because it keeps people on a path, and it can help you with identifying emotions. So if you're describing to a coach or a healer or a therapist how you feel, they can label that for you and be like, I don't think this is a fit for you. Right. So having that external person, but being mindful, I would say practicing presence every day and being honest with yourself and making decisions that are in alignment with your higher self. So if who you are in this lifetime, you're not meant to be abused. So if your higher self would typically say no to that, that's something you need to say no to. Magic isn't just lighting a candle and meditating the pain away, it's taking action and changing it. So you have to actually, like I quit my job.
Right. I had 10 years is a long run.
It is. Oof. It's a karmic loop.
Oh my gosh.
People say in situations, and I'm sure a lot of you, I've never done that in a relationship. I'm like, it was like 2 years at the max, and then I was like, all right, this isn't working. But my job is like way more of an example of being in a toxic environment and just thinking that, because we weren't taught this growing up. Like I wasn't taught. I'm from a West African family. Like it's like you want to keep your job as long, like it's like leave for joy, leave for love. Like what high vibrational energies like just get you happy to get a check. So, but it was just a different mindset. So another big thing is a shift in mindset. So doing things like affirmations throughout the day, like literally if you're in a miserable situation, start to shift your mindset around it. Tell yourself, money always flows to me. If I leave this situation, I'll be okay. Telling yourself
that is difficult because a lot of people, your belief system is so in opposition ingrained. That if you come out with those affirmations, you already feel like you're lying to yourself.
So you actually, you know what, and I think you'll really like this. So shadow work and doing things like nighttime affirmations actually can really be big helps to Scorpios.
Yeah.
So nighttime affirmations, and you can create them yourself. I'm actually planning to put some on my channel. I think they're actually be really fun for you to do for Scorpios. But you can create on loop certain positive affirmations that you really want to bring in and listen to them at night.
That's what I used to do. I had an MPV every night, just sleep with it so that it goes into the subconscious.
And like I found like I would have like dreams about like at my work and like all that stuff, and I did those things to kind of start to really shift those super ingrained beliefs from childhood, from karma, ancestral patterns, all that stuff at night, so that during the day you may have to affirm, or you may have to stop and do breath work or meditate to bring yourself back to the present moment, but it's taking it on a subconscious level, because a lot of the stuff is subconscious too.
Most of it.
Yeah.
It's back in there.
Yeah.
I'm so glad you talked about giving your emotions labels, because a lot of people will automatically just run to do the blame game. Oh my gosh, he's abusing me. Okay, well,
why are you there?
No, how did you get there?
Yeah.
Are you chained to the radiator? Because I'll call the cops.
Yeah.
Tell me where you are.
Yeah.
This is why I always tell people.
There's resources for it.
They get very upset. They believe that, somebody forced them into that relationship. Oh no. You know how long it takes to get into a relationship? You got to exchange numbers, then there's texting going on, dating going on. Honey, that's a process.
Yeah.
Now, throughout that, you didn't discover that this person had
There's no red flags.
Thank you. But as far as like giving the emotions a label, that is interesting, because I've been doing that in the mirror lately when things have popped up. I'm like, wait, are we confused? Are we scared? Like, what I've been trying to like, what is this? What is this? And why have we gotten to this point? Is it because of ego purposes? People are acting the way you want them to, or what's going on? Like, see, this is the conversation that
people can't have that. That's the real tea.
They don't want to do it.
No.
They don't want to do it. They don't want to dive in there, right? But these are the things that you guys need to do. And there's so many, we've given you so many examples of where to start. You can start from any end. You can start from the mirror end. You can start with the affirmation. It doesn't matter. You're going to end up in the same spot. But the point of it is to really dive into yourself and start identifying what these triggers are, where they're stemming from, and make changes. You don't have to sit there too long. You're not going to sit 10 years of like, oh my gosh, my father abused you. You already know that.
Yeah, don't sit.
You know that happened. It's a fact, right?
Yeah.
You felt that belt. But we want to start implementing tiny little shifts. What can I do? What can I do to feel better? You know? What can I do to feel better? And it's all about
focus on how you feel.
Yes.
Because your thoughts, feelings, and emotions are your vibration or your frequency that's being sent out. And that's what's manifesting things in your reality. So when they are in a low vibrational state, it's just going to keep bringing it in. And not to say that certain things are all of your fault, but it's when you take accountability in the most possible way, that's where you see things shift in your life. When you are like, I need to focus on how I feel and what I'm bringing to the room with my energy first before anything else.
And so that gives you a certain amount of power too.
Oh,
I feel so powerful when I already know what my feelings are, because then you can't tell me anything.
Right. Yeah.
Oh, you're this a bit, baby. I already know.
But it's theirs. You realize like that's your shit.
Yes.
If you have a problem with anything I'm doing, it's yours.
It is.
Completely.
It is.
Like I've seen people doing stuff like on the street or whatever. Like I wouldn't do it, but I go about my day. I'm not like, why are you doing? I'm like,
right.
Do your thing.
Right. But even when other people are annoying you.
Yeah, I just go about my day. I leave the situation.
Right.
Yeah,
you don't invite more in.
No.
Like, oh, give me some more of that. Come annoy me some more.
No.
So these are the things you guys need to do. And of course, it's going to be difficult in the beginning. No one said life was easy. Nobody said life was fair. Life will knock you down. You're going to have a lot of different things happen to you, happen around you. No, they're not fair. No, you know what I mean? Like, things have happened to me continuously, and they continuously will happen. But I think that me being Scorpio, I need to be in the power seat. So confronting my feelings, confronting who I am, taking charge of that is another way that I stay empowered. How can people know more about your practice and alchemy? Like, where can they come to learn shadow work and
Yeah.
do all this stuff.
So you can come to Lillith Astrology on YouTube, lilithastrology.com, and you can find me on Instagram at Lillith Astrology there as well.
And what other chart readings do you do?
So I've actually switched to just empowering astrology readings. So they are a mix of shadow work, alchemy coaching, manifestation coaching, and astrology. So I'm using the chart as a tool for self-empowerment for everyone, and I've strayed away from doing other things. Like I used to do travel, relocation, and relationship, but I really want my practice to be about empowerment. So that's my main focus right now.
But you guys need
they are available, so stop by if you'd like one.
All right, guys, that's all I have for you today. Thank you to ADAMA SESAY of Lillith Astrology, and happy Scorpio season. All right, guys, we're going to play a fun game with you because we're different Scorpios. We are going to go back and forth and see what the different emotional responses are. You guys know that I'm a Sun and Moon Scorpio Capricorn rising. Adama is a Scorpio Sun, Leo Moon, Cancer rising, which is interesting because our rising signs oppose each other. Our moons are square to each other. So clearly our vision of how we see the world, how people see us, entirely different. Our emotional responses, entirely different. So I did this with a Scorpio Sun, Virgo Moon at work. And we were talking, all we talked about was death and near-death experiences, and other people were looking at us. I was like, look, this is a grown folks conversation, so y'all can exit. But it was interesting because we both got triggered, but we noticed our triggers were different. And so, yes, so we were talking about something that happened, and I was like, well, I just automatically go to murder. Automatically. Yeah. That's how I feel. She was like, oh no, I just want to slap him. I was like, slap? You slap and I like kill. And I think that's her Virgo practical, maybe like, wake up.
Yeah.
All right, so your first reaction to like betrayal, because you're a Leo Moon and that's dramatic.
Yes, it would be to be drama, like to be like,
but you talk
let them know. Well, it depends on the severity of the betrayal, I think, but I would just let them know what's up and flip and then just leave and not have to do with that person again.
But you get vocal first.
Yeah, I'm vocal and I let out my fire and then I leave and then that's it. I run away like a lion. Onto better pastures because, I'm a Leo.
I get quiet.
Yeah.
And then you hear the theme music to Halloween. Jason, I play that when I write, by the way. Oh yeah, yes. So everything gets silent. When I write, I have to have horror music on. I do horror cinema.
Yeah.
So betrayal triggers me the most. Betrayal, disloyalty. That's a betrayal.
Yeah, I don't like disloyalty.
The same realm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I flip and then I leave. I don't think murder. I mean, I think about how frustrated I am and the ego flares. And then so I gotta like let them know, but then I just leave and I
how do you let them know? Would you call them and text them or like go off?
Yeah, go off.
I
know.
I wouldn't say anything.
It's a difference.
I don't see my trigger.
I will go the fuck off and then run away, bound away like a lion and just live my best life. I forget about them. I just am like, that's done.
Oh.
I let it out because it's like the fire. You
gotta get it out. You have to get it out.
Yeah, and I'm just like, I'll find better. Like I don't need this, and I leave. Yeah, it's like a diva exit. That's it.
So my music comes on. The Freddy Krueger, whoever comes on, and then I shut down. Because my thing is to shut down completely emotionally, and then automatically, without even noticing it, I'm thinking of ways to terminate you. Automatically, and it's like a big scene. Like your scene is outward, my scene is inward.
It's like it's crashing.
That shit, I could see it all playing out, like all different types of ways. Hammer, knives, machete, guns, all sorts of shit. So that's really not a good time to like come to me and be like, oh my gosh, let me explain. Or I'm so sorry. That triggers me even more. Does that bother you?
Yes.
If people try and apologize?
Yes, because I want nothing to do with you ever again. So it's like you're just annoying. Like you're like graining at the And like, what's interesting is my Scorpio is coming out because I'm not like, oh my god, you would kill them. I'd be like, oh yeah, I get it.
Right.
It's because like I do have Mercury there as well, so it's not like I would never think these thoughts, but I don't. To me, I'm just like drama and then leave.
Right, because it's not automatically trigger of yours.
No. So I'm not like scared by that.
How do you handle forgiveness?
Me forgiving other people.
Yeah.
I've learned it, and I think in the past it wasn't as easy for me, but I've learned that I do for myself. So because I don't need to.
Now, what does that mean? Because a lot of people say that, and I think more than anything, it's like words. How do you? What is that like for Leo Moon? Like to forgive for you? Like what's that process though? Like,
well, it's clouding up my aura and my energy if I hold on. It's a low vibrational energy.
Right.
Well, as an alchemist, it's a big thing.
So
it helps me resolve that.
How do you? What's the release process?
Breath work.
Okay.
Like releasing, switching my energy around the situation. Okay, this person betrayed me, but my life is not over. Like it's fine. Right. I'm gonna send them forgiving, loving energy.
Okay. And
release this tension that I feel within myself. Because I'm the creator of my reality, and I want my next moment to be beautiful. And why am I gonna? No, why am I gonna stay and deal with this? And what are they gonna do? If they retaliate, then so be it. I'm ready. Right. I'm here. But
what do I do?
And maybe the Mars in Libra, that might be also adding to that reaction too. Okay. I have Mars in its stability. So the like wanting to, I confront, but then I'm like, all right, we're done.
And my Mars is square, yours is Cancer.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Look at that.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't go through that process.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, Mars is on my rising.
Yeah. Oh, it isn't?
Yeah. And your moon is in my relationship house. So even though there's aspects, it's still hitting important angles.
People don't know that. Yeah. They don't know that about that.
Yeah, the angles in the chart are so
important.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't forgiveness. I've forgiven maybe 2 people in my life, I would say.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they were Scorpios actually. I just looked at it. We ain't got no. Yeah. But it came automatically. It wasn't I had to strategically do something. I was like, no, I'm good. Like there's no big deal. But automatically, we would shut down. Yeah. And then I would have to cut you off. And then in order for me to be okay with myself, I just have to shift my energy elsewhere. Because when your energy's elsewhere, you're not activating that.
Exactly.
Do you know what I mean? Yeah. But it's not that I go back and say, like, we're not sending them no vibes.
Yeah, well, even with my forgiveness thing, it's not even like, it's forgive and forget. Like, I'm not, like, if we're done, we're done. But I'm not gonna, like you, I'm not gonna spend my nights, like, plotting how to kill you. I'm done. Like, I'm gonna release this. Yeah. But I'm not trying to go back there.
I just have to shift it. And some things do activate it, though. Yeah. Some things do it. I'm like, oh, trigger. Here we go.
So how do you, actually I have a question for you. Because I have my own way of dealing with triggers, like breath work, affirmations. How do you deal with triggers?
Well, we got to talk it out in the mirror.
Okay, got it. Yeah.
It's that shit got to come out in the mirror. Yeah. What is this? Yeah. Why is that? What are you doing? What are we gonna do about it? And I sit right there on that toilet seat until that shit is done. I don't care what else got to happen. That's first thing in the morning. Yeah. Because we got to talk about what's happening, right? And we don't leave until we have a resolution and what we're going to do, what we're going to start doing. Yeah. We don't go nowhere until that shit's resolved. Yeah. Friendship musts. What are they?
Loyalty, for sure. There's nothing more. Leo, like, it drives me nuts. And it's my Mars and Libra. Why it took me time to learn this. But wishy-washy friends, once in a while.
What does that mean?
Like friends that are they're not truly there for you. They're like someone you would go out and have fun time with, but they're not there emotionally for you, or there when the going gets tough. And I think for me, I used to let that in because I do like air and I do like I like fire. But when it comes down to it, I don't like to tell someone something and then I hear about that you talked about like that. To me, my insides like. Because I don't do that. Even people I don't like, and this is a Scorpio thing.
Oh, yeah, me either.
I just don't. I don't have the time of day to divulge your secrets. I really don't want someone doing that to me, and so I just don't. And it's the Mercury thing. But, like, I've had that, like, with, like, Sag energy. Yeah. Like, Mercury and Sag gets on my fucking nerves. A placement like that drives me crazy, because it's like, that's not a friend to me. So, loyalty is number one. And then I think also the ability to have fun, because I'm a Leo moon. Like, I do love to go to nice places. I love to eat out. I love to, have a cocktail or two. Party. I'm a Venus and Sag too.
How do you need to be treated though?
Like a queen.
You need to be the star in your relationship.
Yes. 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 To all of you Kevinettes out there, I I'm the star. Yes. But the thing is, I treat my partner like a king, though.
Yes.
So in order for someone to receive the kingly treatment,
Yes.
I have to have the queendom throne first, too. But Leo energy is very generous. So
Yes,
if I receive that,
sure.
I am that back as well. So I think generosity is a huge thing, like with
Yes.
friendships and things like that.
I discovered that I need that a lot. But also, for me, I need deepness in it.
Yeah.
All that shit got to be like heavy. I need heavy relationships. They can't be. I can't do the light thing. I need to be able to go in. Like the stuff that I talk about, I can't have to shield up. So it can't be like, oh my gosh, you're talking about that again?
Yeah.
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 And I'm gonna keep talking about it. So
I'm a Scorpio.
We're gonna talk about it till I die. So how much time you got? You know what I mean? So for me, that's a necessity. It's not even like, oh, I like it. Like, where is it?
Yes.
And also with me, that's probably different than you. Is I'm gonna dig for it. So if we don't see it. So if I don't see it, I'm gonna pull that shit out of you.
Yeah.
And you may call it drama, and you may call it you can use whatever language you want, which a lot of them do.
Yeah.
Scorpio's like, this is I'm looking for it. Where the fuck is it?
Yeah.
If I can't pull that shit out, then I let you go.
And like knowing the patterns too, because we also listen, but we listen and look with our third eye. Like we're always looking past what people are saying. So that's why we can't have superficial, because we already know the depth. We already know it, or can pull it out of you, so we don't want that. Yeah.
All right, what is your most transforming relationship?
So that would be with an Aries, but this particular Aries had Moon in Cancer and Aries Sun on the ascendant, so Aries rising. So there was a big mommy wound with this person, and so I was going through my own transformational moment with the relationships I was calling in, and my beliefs and what template was set by my parents. And I called in a person that had similar woundings. Parents were divorced, went through certain things in his life. And so he really triggered out of me that wounding in myself, because obviously, if you look within, when people show up that are not favorable in your life, and it was a lot of me having to over mother, over father, honestly, sometimes as well, to be that solid foundation for that person, and that it wasn't meeting me halfway, so it just triggered a lot, and I felt like I was giving so much and it just wasn't balanced. And then my Mars and Libra also.
So how did that break
play
you
with
down
that as well too?
How did that break?
I was
you
miserable.
Down
so it got to the point where I was like so miserable in the relationship, and I just felt like he was sucking the life out of me.
You weren't getting your needs met with a Cancer moon. How are you getting your needs met?
He was getting his met completely, but he was ungrateful, because it's when you're over mother someone and when you're a mother that coddled someone and doesn't truly advocate for what they want and what you should be doing, they use you, they abuse you. Not abuse you in like a bad sense, but like just take advantage. And I don't think he was appreciative of anything, and I just found myself miserable. And that's where I was like, and you look in the mirror, why is I can't sit here and blame other people why this person is here. What within me chose this person.
Right.
And I went through, obviously we broke up, and I went through a huge period. It's like about 3 years of just being single and really healing that within myself.
So what you got out of that was what?
I need a real man, a man who understands how to treat a queen.
But what did you learn about you?
I knew that I was accepting less than. I was accepting less. I was accepting less than a man, because I saw that in my mother. Like I saw her perpetuating that energy in her own life, and that was an instilled belief. So I attracted someone who it's like mommy coddled energy, and so I just coddled too much.
So he came in and showed you where your values were.
Yeah.
Needed to be.
Yeah.
That's powerful.
With myself, and I needed to understand what I truly wanted. Like I wanted a true masculine man, and someone who's responsible and understands how to navigate the world. And I'm not the leader.
You had to do what though?
I had to change.
Yes.
I had to change. I had to change.
A lot of you guys think that, oh, I'm going to get rid of this one. No. You take yourself wherever you go.
Yeah.
So you leave that. Guess who's waiting for you on the next block? The same ass dude with a different face.
Yeah.
But he came in and showed you how to look at your values so that you can transform.
Yeah.
And then now you can get the dude you want.
Absolutely. Because another thing as well too, it was about navigating relationships internally. So instead of believing like, oh, there's only a certain percentage of this and you know, you're never going to find this.
Right.
I came up with my own love list of things that were non-negotiables, things that I wanted in my relationship. And then I also thought about, well, what do I have for others? Like, what is my qualities? Like, what do I want? Oh, well, I love being treated like a queen. Well, I'll treat myself like a queen. And I started doing things for myself that I would want someone else to do for me. And of course, it's changed. So
what do we talk about on this channel?
It's manifesting people is the same thing as manifesting money or objects. Right. You do it from the inside, but so many of us, we do it from the outside, and then we do it from old patterns and old beliefs from our family and our parents, and we aren't conscious that we are actually the ones in the driver's seat that can change it. So
wow.
Yeah, so it was like a Saturn return.
But I wouldn't expect you to say Aries was your most transformative.
Yeah. Well, it's that the Leo moon. I have a lot of fire in my chart. I have my Leo moon. I have Venus. I have Jupiter in Aries. And then I have Mars in Libra. So it's just a ball of fire mixed with water. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And mine was Scorpio, of course.
Yeah.
Who scrolled in and showed me the ugliest parts of me that I never knew existed. This was a long time ago. Ever. Like, I was like, who is this all this ugly?
Yeah.
I was like, you are the ugliest person that I've ever fucking seen in my life. And the interesting part about that was that I wasn't even talking to him. I was talking to me.
Yeah.
Ooh, how deep is that? Like, are you ready for that? No, a lot of you aren't ready for that, right? Because you call all other people narcissists and this and that, and I see your comments. You're in the comments, but what I want you to do next time you want to blow up is sit in the mirror and go off.
Yeah.
Because that's who you're really talking to. And so when he reflected that back to me, I was like, oh.
Yeah.
And there were so many different things that he showed me about myself. And one was like freedom, how to have a relationship without being so attached.
Yeah.
That was difficult because he kept going away. And I was like, where you at? Kept going away. But guess who used to do that? I'm the queen of doing shit like that. The queen. You couldn't find me on a map. You couldn't find me anywhere if you tried. I was always moving, changing my number. People were like, where are you? And then once someone shows you that that's who you are, I'm like, I was like, oh.
Yeah.
And that was, I don't know if that was the hardest, but that was difficult for me to get. But after like a while, I had trust that he was still there, so that I didn't give a fuck if I saw you 2 months later.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, I know where you at. You know what I mean? Like energetically, I know where you at.
Yeah.
So it didn't matter, but that was a rough one. But there were other things too that was just mirrored back so harshly that I had to take a look. And I tried to run off. Did you try and run off? Because I tried to be like, get away from me, like a lot of people do.
Like retreat. Well, we were living together too at one point where it's a little hard to like.
So
it's like, oh, I live here. So.
Right.
But like being separate parts of the house or whatever. Yeah.
Because you're trying to escape it because the growing pains are difficult.
Yeah.
Like me, I was just like, I'm going to block you and all that. Yeah. And everywhere I turned, there he was. Yeah. I mean, literally, like, I'd be walking out in Chelsea and he'd be on. I'm like, how are you in the corner? Like, how are you still, so I think that's interesting. All right, guys. Wasn't this fun? All right, check out ADAMA SESAY on Lillith Astrology. Bye.
Hello, Scorpio, and welcome to Sexy Tarot. Happy birthday to all Scorpios born on October 31st. For your birthday, I would like to gift you with a mini tarot reading for spiritual wellness. Scorpio, we're going to take a sneak peek into your love life, your happiness, and your career. With that being said, let's get started, Scorpio. Scorpio, in the area of love, you have the Ten of Pentacles. The Ten of Pentacles. Some of you are married or in committed relationships, or you share assets and resources with someone. And all I'm going to say is you learned a lot from this connection. You could have been with this person a long time, but your past experiences are guiding you. Your past experiences are guiding you to this place of abundance, fulfillment, and commitment. Some of you may be dealing with a Virgo. Scorpio, in the area of happiness, I want your reading. You have the Ten of Cups. the Ten of Cups. This is a happy life. This is a happy family. This is celebratory, Scorpio. You know why? Because you put in the work. You put in the work. Scorpio, it looks like there was something that you were you could have been going through in a connection or some other area of your life. But what I know is you put in all the hard work to acquire the happiness that you have. Scorpio, in relation to career, you have temperance. You have temperance. Something is being balanced out right now. You may be in a negotiation or compromising or bargaining with someone to reconcile some differences in order to bring justice to a situation. Some of you may work in the legal field or in the justice system, Scorpio. But Scorpio, overall, to sum it up, your reading is one of wish fulfillment. Wish fulfillment. You have everything you want right now, Scorpios born on October 31st. Okay, because you learned a lot of spiritual lessons in relation to a marriage, a commitment, something traditional. And Scorpio, this connection has been rescued. Something in your life has been rescued. It's being balanced out. Justice is being served. You're getting happiness. But throughout it all, Scorpios born on October 31st, this was a learning experience. This was a learning experience. Scorpio, if you are interested in a personal reading with me, feel free to reach out to me via email at sexytarot@gmail.com. Scorpio, don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel, Sexy Tarot. Happy birthday to you again. Peace, Scorpio.